Hello everyone, welcome to my video. So today I wanted to talk about the fact that now society is becoming very binary in the sense that there's no clear categories of male and female. So you might find as well, even the workplaces are changing where you're asked to identify not only if you're male or female, if you were born that way, if you've had a sex change, what your sexual orientation is. And this is all considered to be part of equal opportunities. But I think also what I have found is that not only is it becoming, a more, I would say, a broader category of person, there's more things that people need to be aware of. So, for instance, in the past, you may be familiar with the fact that perhaps, let's say, it's a woman that experiences sexual harassment, and it's usually the man that's the perpetrator. Obviously, things have happened the other way as well, but it's more common for women to be treated in this way. But what I've found now as time goes on is that, you know, um, you need to be aware of other issues relating to this, because as society becomes more and more, so to speak, equalized, um, there's other things that can happen too. And I'm speaking from experience, and I suppose this happens, when you experience it, and that's why it's good to be aware of it if it happens to you. And so I'll give you an example of something that's happened to me. And it was a place that I sort of started going to as a new person, and it was a place I had to go to. So I was supposed to interact with the people there, and you sort of go in a new place, you kind of prepare yourself to do what's needed to do, and you're already under this pressure because you're learning the ropes. Yes, you're learning what needs to be done, and you're asking questions because you want to find out how to do what you need to do well. So I did find that the people who I was surrounded by, it was a mixed bag like it is everywhere else. You get a few people that want to help you, take an interest, and there's some that don't. And it was unfortunate in my case that the people that, you know, um, didn't really want to help me were the people who were supposed to be helping me. So just one situation that happened in that scenario is that, I sort of came in on the first day, bursting with energy, ready to go. And I was told I looked nice. And, you come in as an innocent person, you don't think anything of it. Yes. But this continued to happen every day. Yes. So every day I was told I looked nice. And this person, was basically in charge of the whole place. Yes. And um, at first I thought, the person's quite kind to sort of mention that to me, because it's not every day that somebody tells you you look nice. But then I did notice that she would look me up and down, look at my body, constantly look at me. Yes. While she was standing next to me, she would try to stand close to me. And this was a woman. So this is woman to woman interaction. Yes. There would be times when, she was having a conversation with me, and all she would be doing is looking at my body the entire time. I would try to angle, in a different way to try to not give her the advantage of being able to look at my breast, is what she was looking at. And, but it didn't work. And then she would try to get me to help her with things where she had to be next to me or close to me. And I did find as well that, when I was doing what I needed to do, I was being watched by her constantly. I could feel it, in the room when you know someone's watching you. And another way I knew that was because she seemed to say things to me as if she had been watching me. Don't do this, do that, or whatever it was. So, at first I thought, it's people are probably monitoring me because, they're trying to help me in what I need to do, but it wasn't that at all. I was basically being kept, in a situation that was convenient for the people there. And, I was sort of brought into this situation where somebody was, I would say, sexually harassing me, and it was a woman. Yes, it was woman to woman sexual harassment. And it's, like I said, when you first sort of go into a situation, you don't expect it of a woman, you expect it of a man, historically, yes. And you tend to, trust women more, or people who are like yourself. And I think this is where the danger is, that people do take advantage of that. And sometimes it also depends on their position. If they're in a higher position than you, then they feel they can get away with it. Yes. So, I spoke about it, and I told someone about it. And, that person was made aware of it. Obviously, they were very embarrassed, very angry that the situation came about. But I think it's very important these days now, not just to protect yourself from, admirers of the opposite sex, but also of the same sex, because, it's becoming more and more acceptable for people to have same sex relationships. And the assumption is that, people can do this, in an environment that's not really social, in the sense that, it's not something where, oh, you're going out to have a good time. So I do find that, it's important for people to be aware that, sexual harassment can occur not just man to woman or woman to man, but also woman to woman and man to man. Yes, I'm sure it happens with men as well. So, just because somebody is inclined that way doesn't mean that you have to respond. And I think it's very important to, you know, take action at the beginning. When these sorts of things happen, you can kind of let things go a couple of times, but if they continue, it's important, I think, to just, speak up, and, say, I'm uncomfortable with the way you're looking at me, or, you know, is it possible to have some distance between us? And I think I felt very uncomfortable the time when she was very close to me when we were doing something she asked me to help her with. And, on that day I was wearing some uh, hip hugging trousers, and it was a cold day, so I was, wrapped up. And I just felt she was admiring my body. She had to basically go past me. She had me do a task where I had to bend forward, and then she had to walk past me to get to what she was doing. And this happened a few times, and I thought, this is very unusual. And the task, it was a short task, it wasn't very long, but it gave her the opportunity to basically see me bent over. And, I just find that, even age isn't, if it isn't an issue. You expect things like this to be happening to younger people. It's not the case, because I'm an older person and it's happened to me. So, I just feel that, it's inappropriate. It's not something that you need to put up with. And before things do spiral out of control, it's important to bring up the issue. And if you don't feel you can talk to that person, You can do it discreetly, you can do it in writing, you can write to whoever is in charge at that place, and make them aware, because usually people are not aware of this situation. Yes. And if you bring it up, it's so shocking to everybody, especially when it involves the same sex doing it to someone like themselves. Um, and age as well. On top of that, she was around my age as well, so that was even worse. So don't feel that this is normal behavior, even coming from one woman to another woman, because it wasn't. It was unwanted. It's not something that I was comfortable with, and I spotted it quite quickly, actually, and got myself out of that situation. So don't feel that you have to be in that situation, because if you are feeling uncomfortable about something, the quicker you bring it up, the less time you will be feeling stressed out about it and having to go into a place where somebody's behaving in this way with you. All right. Thanks for listening. And please leave a comment. Thank you very much. Bye bye.